Hi guys, congratulations on the release of a new album, your second this decade. Would it be fair to say that New York Dolls are back in the ring officially?
Oh, we're in the midst of it, right in the midst of the tumult.
The decision to work with Todd Rundgren again on this record, was it an attempt to recapture the sound of your first record, do you think?
No, not really. I think it was just an attempt to work with someone that we knew and who understood what, we're going for and where we're at,
Okay.
as opposed to, like, training someone to do that.
Excellent, excellent. 3 years after releasing your first album, how did it feel to learn you were such an inspiration to the UK punk scene and that elite?
I'm sorry?
How
does it feel to have inspired the UK punk scene?
Well,
in their
yes,
irrevocably.
How did it feel to be labelled the forefathers of punk?
You know what? It feels great. We don't really call it punk. We
call it ambrosia.
Ambrosia is closer to what we're trying to say here. But it's all rock and roll, and any recognition is really great for any artist, and to be put with such a, what happened there, and how many actually, great music came out of that. It's beautiful.
Do you think the shock and imagery of the group back in the 70s was quite important to the success of the band then? Or
It was quite what?
was it important to the success of the band, the imagery?
I wouldn't say we had much success, but we certainly had no idea. If we had had mirrors before we left the house, things would have been a lot different, let me tell you that.
The band once described as womanizing, drug-addled, alcoholic ministers of pure rock and roll. Why were the Dolls never accepted into the mainstream?
Well, you should have those ingredients just to get accepted. Is that
Where did you get that, on the internet?
I think Lee Childs actually.
Oh, Lee Childs. Oh, I see. Yeah,
Lee Childs, he
was good at turning a phrase. And how did that question wind up? After the adjectives, what was the actual question?
It was womanizing, drug-addled.
I know, I heard the adjectives.
Why didn't you get into the
and
mainstream?
I'd be very happy if you wouldn't repeat them. Why didn't we get in the mainstream? I think that question answers itself.
Did you think that the early glam scene in the 1970s was a big influence on the group?
Well,
Bowie and
no,
Bolan?
I don't think so. But apparently we got thrown into that thing. I think they thought we were a lot like the Sweet.
We're really it's a blues-based band, the New York Dolls.
Yeah.
And our influences they stretch from the 50s all the way through the from the Eddie Cochrans to the girl groups of the 60s, early 60s I should say, to all the the blues guys at any era.
It's rock and roll.
It is.
How important were groups
It's
like
rock and
the
roll. It's
Stooges
not
and
punk
the
rock.
MC5
It's rock and roll.
and the Stones to you as a
I'm
group?
sorry?
How important were groups like the Stooges and the MC5 and the Stones to you? As
Well,
musicians?
the Stooges and the MC5, of course, they were like 60s bands more,
Yeah.
late 60s and stuff like that. So we were having like, we dug what they were doing and stuff
If there was
like
no MC5 and no Stooges, what a horrible, lonely planet this would be.
Was it difficult reuniting for the Morrissey Meltdown show at all?
Difficult?
Yeah,
No.
it wasn't. Were you comfortable working together in rehearsals and stuff?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Excellent.
That's
We
why we're
rehearsed
still.
3 times, I think, right?
That was 5 years ago, and we're still together.
we
So I
rehearsed
guess something must have
3
worked.
times.
Yeah, we did.
We were diligent.
You re-recorded Trash for this new album.
Yes, we did.
Was that was like some sort of silent tribute to your former bandmates?
Yes and no.
Right.
But we started playing that song, and Todd taped it, and we really liked it, and the imagery that it conjures is infathomable.
Mm-hmm.
Just to end with, the Dolls sound is essentially a prototype for the Sex Pistols, and you worked with Malcolm, obviously. Do you feel Malcolm robbed you in any way of what you'd achieved?
No.
He robbed your guitar.
No, he was more our friend, and that's how was his involvement. We met together through like the whole rag business, and in the early 70s, and him and Vivian Westwood loved the New York Dolls, and that's really, they were our friends.
And what's not to love? We're a fantastic band. I don't think there's any band better than us, to tell you the truth.
Guys, if fans are
If there is, I have yet to see them.
That's great, guys. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
people are waiting.
That was a good.